A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. Chapter 4 The Preparation. When the mail got successfully to Dover, in the course of the forenoon, the head drawer at the Royal George Hotel opened the coach door as his custom was. He did it with some flourish of ceremony, for a mail journey from London in winter was an achievement to congratulate an adventurous traveler upon. By that time, there was only one adventurous traveler left to be congratulated, for the two others had been set down at their respective roadside destinations. The mildew inside of the coach, with its damp and dirty straw, its disagreeable smell, and its obscurity, was rather like a larger stock kennel. Mr. Loy, the passenger, shaking himself out of it in chains of straw, a tangle of shaggy wrapper, flapping head and muddy legs, was rather like a larger sort of dog. There will be a packet to Calais tomorrow, drawer. Yes, sir, if the weather holds and the wind sets tolerable fair. The tide will serve pretty nicely at about 2 in the afternoon, sir. Bed, sir. I should not go to bed tonight, but I want a bedroom and a barber. And then breakfast, sir. Yes, sir. That way, sir, if you please. Show Concord. Gentleman's valise and hot water to Concord. Pour of gentleman's booze in Concord. You will find a fine sea-core fire, sir. Fetch barber to Concord. Stir about there now for Concord. The Concord bedchamber being always assigned to a passenger by the mail, and passengers by the mail being always heavily wrapped up from head to foot, the room had the old interest for the establishment of the Royal George, that although but one kind of man was seen to go into it, all kinds and varieties of men came out of it. Consequently, another drawer, and 2 porters, and several maids and the landlady were all loitering by accident at various points of the road between the Concord and the coffee room, when a gentleman of 60, formally dressed in a brown suit of clothes, pretty well worn but very well kept, with large square cuffs and large flaps to the pockets, passed along on his way to his breakfast. The coffee room had no other occupant that forenoon than the gentleman in brown. His breakfast table was drawn before the fire, and as he sat, with his light shining on him, waiting for the meal, he sat so still that he might have been sitting for his portrait. Very orderly and methodically he looked, with a hand on each knee and a loud watch taking a sonorous sermon under his flapped waistcoat, as though it pitted his gravity and longevity against the levity and evanescence of the brisk fire. He had a good leg, and was a little vain of it, for his brown stockings fitted sleek and close, and were of a fine texture. His shoes and buckles too, though plain, were trim. He wore an old little sleek crisp flaxen wig, setting very close to his head, which wig it is to be presumed was made of hair, but which looked far more as though it was spun from filaments of silk or glass. His linen, though not of a fineness in accordance with his stockings, was as white as the tops of the waves that broke up on the neighboring beach, or the specks of sail that glinted in the sunlight-fired sea. A face habitually suppressed and quieted was still lighted up under the quaint wig by a pair of moist, bright eyes that it must have cost their owners, in years gone by, some pains to drill to the composed and reserved expression of Townsend's Bank. He had a healthy color in his cheeks, and his face, though lined, bore few traces of anxiety. But perhaps the confidential bachelor clerks in Townsend's Bank were principally occupied with the cares of other people, and perhaps second-hand cares, like second-hand clothes, come easily off and on, completing his resemblance to a man who was sitting for his portrait. Mr. Loy dropped off to sleep. The arrival of his breakfast roused him, and he said to the drawer as he moved his chair to it, I wish accommodation prepared for a young lady who may come here at any time today. She may ask for Mr. Jarvis Loy, or she may only ask for a gentleman from Townsend's Bank. Please do let me know. Yes, sir. Townsend's Bank in London, sir. Yes, sir. We have oftentimes the honor to entertain your gentlemen in their traveling backwards and forwards betwixt London and Paris, sir. A vast deal of traveling, sir, in Townsend and Company's house. Yes, we are quite a French house as well as an English one. Yes, sir. Not much in the habit of such traveling yourself, I think, sir. Not of late years. It is 15 years since I came last from France. Indeed, sir. That was before my time here, sir. Before our people's time here, sir. The George was in other hands at that time, sir.